Welcome back to New Cow Corner, everybody. Today is a really cool one, man. I got we got a guest on here, man, who's very dear to my heart, man. This is someone that befriended me when I came into this hobby, someone that was always real with me. I walked me out of a few situations. I mean, nothing but good to me, man. Honest, good human being right here. And without any further ado, I know all of you guys know him, man, but Brian Who from Who's Geckos, man. Thanks
What's
for
up,
coming,
bro?
Brian. I appreciate you. It's
Thank
been a
you. I
long time
appreciate it.
coming. I mean, you were
Bro,
one of the first people I wanted on when I started this, man. Almost shit. Going on 2 years ago, man.
You hit me up a few times and just like complications with things and scheduling and stuff. But finally, it's just like you have to be in a good place to do these things, and
Absolutely.
I finally feel like I'm in a good place. So that's why I reached out to you. I said, hey, and I'm ready.
Well,
I'm ready to do it.
Once we cut him that check, he called right away, right?
I wish we had Joe Rogan cash, man.
Yeah, right? Damn.
That's awesome. So, as everybody knows, typically, I mean, we like to talk to breeders, talk to everybody, big names like yourself. We talk to small breeders, and we do talk about geckos, obviously.
I'm not a big name.
Big.
We would like to we like to show people the people behind the brands. We want to give people a good idea of who people are, who they're dealing with. Even though we all have these things in common, these reptiles, these geckos, we all have different lives. We're very similar yet very different. And again, we like to use this platform just to introduce people to people. And it's again a pleasure to have you here, dude. Honestly, I know you've been.
It's an honor, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the kind word.
Going through some things and doing what you're doing in life, but it's good to see you looking good. It's good to see you happy, healthy, plans. Good for you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. It really is good. I haven't really been out there recently in the last couple years, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna say almost 2 years. 2 years coming, let's say September of 2024. 2024 was like when I started to like fall off and stuff. So yeah,
no
so
vending,
it's been a while.
No nothing. What happened? Talk to us. What happened?
I do vend. I still I've reduced my vending. I'm probably only gonna do 2-3 shows a year at most, and mostly it's gonna be white plains. Unless flora fauna comes back, I'll do flora fauna. Other than that, that's pretty much all I'm gonna be doing. But yeah, and so basically I'm gonna use this platform to first talk about this publicly, because I've actually never disclosed to anybody publicly or anybody else. Nobody really knows. People make a lot of assumptions of why is Brian been MIA? Well, bro, I've heard rumors galore. People coming up, bro, you getting divorced? Like, what's going on? I'm like, no, where did you guys hear I'm getting divorced? Like, your wife is leaving you with the kids, taking everything. I was like, damn, this is like, people just like create personas of you when all of a sudden things don't go, like you're not doing things normal, right? So I just ignored it. I never really addressed it. I was like, you know what, I'll leave it alone. So so I'm not gonna really like get so far into detail, but I'll kind of like generally talk about it. So basically everybody knows I'm Who's Geckos, and I started this in 2019, Who's Geckos, and started breeding and all this stuff, and I was very visible on social media, and that was one of my things I was promoting to everybody. I was like, you guys got to do social media, put your face out on there, do this, talk, and you'll become more well known. And that's what I was, the type of person I was doing. So I would talk, and I would do videos, I would do how-tos, I would do tips, I would do breeder tips, all that stuff, right? And I would do all this stuff.
Hell yeah, I remember him. You were a huge inspiration for this show. You were a huge inspiration for this podcast, was Brian. When you started doing them tips, you don't remember us talking about that? You had all those little
Oh, yeah.
how-to reels and everything. I was like, bro,
Yep.
like you got to do this. And I that's one of the main reasons why I started doing this stuff, man, was because of you.
Man, damn,
Very
that
cool.
freaking that means a lot actually, because like, you know, sometimes you think you do these things and you don't know if like people are actually taking something from it. And that's what I want, was for people to take something from it. Not like, you know, I wasn't, you know, I did this stuff on my own. I aim like you guys right now. You guys aren't making any money. If anything, you're losing money doing this podcast because you got to pay to stream, right? So so
I do, yeah.
we do this out of our pocket. Like I do this, I did those things, I did all the videos, I bought a freaking Rode microphone, I bought these microphones, all the cameras and everything. You know, I spend all this money into it just, and I didn't get paid for it, nothing. But I do make monies from the geckos, but I use that money that I did from selling geckos. Although, yes, me doing these videos, I'm not going to say it didn't benefit me, because it does benefit me, because it puts me out there and people recognize me, and that leads to sales, right? So people are like, oh, you know, oh, Brian from Who's Geckos, oh, I watch his videos, I follow him, oh, he's got, that draws them to see my animals, and they're like, oh, he's got nice animals, I'm gonna buy his animals. So I was big on social media. And then I met a group of friends. I became really out there. I was going to Tinley's. I was traveling all over the United States, going to shows. I made a lot of friends in this hobby, a lot of friends. And I'm going to tell you, really good people too. I met great people, real great people. And I fell into a group of people, and it became like I fell into like a circle, like, you know, a circle of people. And at first it felt like, oh yeah, great, you know, you got this bond, you got this bond through your reptile hobby. You guys share, all you do really do is share this hobby, because I'll tell you this much, outside of the reptiles and the geckos, that we really didn't have too much else in common. There's people, yes, in this hobby, I definitely do, but I'm talking in particular of this one group. And as time goes on, you start to realize that you, meaning me, start to change who you were when you first came into the hobby, or who you were as a person, right? And I started realizing I was changing, and I was starting to become the person that I don't like. I'd never liked that type of person. I started becoming this person, and I started becoming negative. I started looking at people. I'm like, instead of embracing people and encouraging people, I was starting to like look down and feel like animosity towards people. And that's not who I am. And that's not who maybe as a young person I was, but in my adult life, I was never like that. So when I started realizing this, I started to come like down and like a little bit depressed of it. And I didn't know how to approach it in a way to like, hey, listen, I just want to not talk to you guys and just whatever, right? So something happened where a big blowout happened, and I just went off, because, you know, certain times, like, you feel like you've been bottling something up so much that you just can't you can't hold it back anymore. You just let it
Sure.
out and you just unload, and that's what happened. And unfortunately, we ended up parting ways. No longer we haven't talked since. So I don't I don't I don't I during that time, it was afterwards, it was like, damn, like depressed mode. Like I was like feeling like shit. I wanted nothing to do with the hobby. I didn't even want to work with the geckos. I didn't want to go into the gecko room. I didn't look at them. I didn't want to take pictures of them. I didn't want to feed them. I didn't want to clean them. I didn't want to do any of that, because it just reminded me constantly of the negativity that was surrounded me during that time. So at that point, just everything after that started going downhill. I started dealing with like health issues, and then I just had to worry about that, and I was just taking care of that one after another, doctor, and until my health issues resolved, which is good, and I'm feeling a lot better nowadays. So but during that time, so this is the worst part. So I'll tell you, like the other stuff is pretty bad, but like me losing my two dogs were my world to me. My dog Titan and Thor. Titan was 8 years old. He ended up passing in July, unexpectedly. Not even like he was old. He was only 8. He's a Labrador Retriever. He had and it's due to the vet. The vet screwed up. He had ate something, and it got enlarged in his intestines, and we brought him to the vet. The vet's like, oh no, he didn't do an X-ray. He gave us antibiotics. 2 days later, my dog is so bad. I bring him to emergency room. They're like, yeah, there's no saving him, but we'll try. He's gonna die. He's gonna die if you don't do anything, but you can try. $20,000 later, he ended up passing. Still paying $20,000. Fucking crazy. So then, come this past November, I had a Cane Corso, and his name was Thor. He just turned 7 in October, and I had just left the house. I was going to get something for my wife, and my wife works from home. She was letting him in from the back door to deck, and he just fell over, just dropped to the ground. Nothing, no sign of anything. He ran, and he just dropped to the ground. And then she calls me like frantic, and I come home, and she's giving CPR. He's not breathing. He ended up passing this past November. We did a autopsy, and he had cardiomyopathy, which is enlarged heart. So is it yeah, and then it's just like a ticking time bomb. There's nothing you could do there, and it's just like, so it was just like a
I'm sorry to hear
long.
that, man.
Thank
That
you,
says
man.
it all. My dog's my life. Everything in my world is my dog, man.
Bro, that's probably, I'm gonna tell you, losing my dogs is probably, bro, I've lost family members, I've lost friends, I've had friends get shot in front of me, and losing my dogs is the single most pain emotionally I've ever felt.
I wouldn't wish that shit on nobody, man. I get it. I get it, dude. That's
bro.
I know it sounds crazy, but worse than divorce, worse than loss of I mean, it's just so. I don't know how to explain it, man. That bond that you have with that animal is so different than anything else in this world, man. There's nothing more you could be true with, honest with. I mean, you could be you at your core with that dog, and that dog will love you regardless. On your best days, your worst days. That is unconditional love. Humans love conditionally. Your mother, you could do things your mother will stop loving you. You could do things that you cause your wife to walk out the door. You could do things that have your children never talk to you again. Human love is conditional. It's not unconditional. A dog's love is unconditional. You could beat a dog will come back to you and just want to love you, man. You could starve a dog will still want to be next to you and still love you. I mean, it's people that don't know, man, but the ones that do get it. And listen, I am sorry that you dealt with that, man. I
man,
dread the day.
Definitely one of the toughest things. So now, what are we? We're in March now. So it's been 4 or 5 months. Starting this past January, I felt in a real slump after that, in like the November, December, and in January I was just like, I got my health now. I'm not over my dog's the loss of my dogs, but you think about, like, you know what, no matter what, I would do it again anyway, right? So I remember I love my dogs, but I have to move on with life, right? I have to do better for myself. I have to do better for my kids, and I'll tell you what triggered everything for me. So my kid one day, he just starts crying, and he's like, I don't want to die. And it's like, why? He's 6 years old. Why is he thinking about this? He goes, I don't want to die, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's not the way to think. Then I started thinking, I'm like, damn, is like my energy rubbing off on him that he's starting to feel that way? And I start to realize, damn, that's not good. I can't be like that. I got to change it up. So, so I started to better myself. I started, I started hitting the gym again, eating healthier, much healthier. Bro, I was 200 and almost 260 pounds. Now I'm like 230. So
You look
I'm
good,
trying to even
bro.
get
You
down.
look good.
I'm trying to get
You
down.
look healthy, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to get down to 190. You know, I'm trying to get thin.
You're tall though, man. Maybe that's thin for you, man.
Yeah.
What are you,
Yeah,
6'3", 6'2"?
6'3". But
That's
I
what I'm
just want
saying.
to.
190's light for you, bro.
I think I
220, you
feel.
look right. 220 would be nice.
I think
220 at 6'3", you looking GQ, bro.
I think my back and knees would appreciate it better. That's why. Yeah, so I've been doing that, and I definitely have a way more positive look on life. The best I've felt in the last almost 2 years, probably 2 years. In the last 2 years,
That's
best I've felt.
awesome. That's
So
awesome.
so now I'm back. I'm trying to be more into it. There's a lot of rumors about me not being in the hobby, leaving the hobby and selling up. I had a lot of people reach out to me trying to buy animals. Like, hey, I heard you're leaving the hobby. What do you got for sale? I was like, whoa! I never said that. But I even, bro, I'll tell you, I did pairings already. I started pairing, so I'm here, so I'm not leaving.
Good.
Yeah,
Tiger Man, huh?
absolutely.
Tiger Man.
Yep. Oh man,
I
I
just
don't.
saw the ones. I've been hearing about them for like, I don't know how long. And I literally just saw one the other day, and I was like, that's what everyone's talking about, man. Those sons of bitches are badass.
Yeah, I doubled down this year on it. So
Nice. Good for you, man. Very cool.
I've been working on them, and it's something that I have a passion for. It's like us, not like there's a lot of great animals out there, but like we all have a particular, right? And you just work with that particular. I was the type of person, like in the beginning, I was like, I got to get one of everything. I got to breed everything because you feel like you want to supply everybody. You want to be able to sell to that person and that person. If I don't have this, I want to be able to that I want to be able to have it for that person. Like because people, and it's sad because I realized this throughout that time I was in that whole group was people were like, I want everybody to buy from me and I don't want them to buy from anybody else. So I'm gonna breed everything I can. And that was one of the things that I took, and I was like, man, I kind of had that mentality too. And I realized I don't want that. That's not my mentality. I'm going to work with what I want to work with and just stay with that and just work hard at
Hell
it.
yeah. That's awesome. I think one of the coolest things in the hobby is to send business to someone else, right? If someone comes to you and I'm working with something that I'm passionate about, and someone comes to me from my social media or platform, whatever the hell it is, and someone's like, hey, I want to buy this, do you have this? And I'm like, I don't. But you know what? Mark or Brian sell some badass ones, man. They work with those, man. Go check out Who's Geckos. Go check out the Gecko Room, man. Them guys got them. Like, that's one of the coolest things to get to do, right? To acknowledge someone else's work when someone comes to you looking for something that you don't have, to shoot them to one of your people that does, man. I get a kick out of that. I love it.
And that's the best part, right? That's how the hobby should be. But a lot of times it's not like that, especially
No,
with
you're right.
we have a very broad spectrum of people in this hobby. So if everybody was in unity, this would be even the best hobby in the world. But you got to make what's best for it.
Sure.
And what I always tell people, the most important thing is don't pay attention to what everybody else is doing. Don't worry about them. Just don't change who you are and just continue to stay true to yourself, because that's what's going to make you a better person. People notice that and will respect you. And that's you just got to be true to yourself, and that's the only thing. And I'm gonna tell you, that's what I took away from all this. And me being 44 years old, I was like, man, I knew this already, but I had to experience it again in a different light to realize, damn, I gotta relearn this again. So we're all learning, no matter what age you are. You're
Sure, sure.
20 years old, 40 years old, 60
it's,
years
it's
old.
constant evolution, but it takes your past experiences for you to catch that and get back on track. You know, your experiences is what caught you. Like, wait a minute, this is not me. I got to be true to myself. Gone, and I got to do my own thing. And that's
awesome.
that's a dangerous man right there.
Really
That's
is,
a dangerous
man. I'm
man.
just looking for the right way to say it, man. That's power, bro. It's power.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That
huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
No,
A lot of people don't. They keep going the other way. You caught it and checked yourself, man. You know, and that's a man. That's a man. You know, men do that shit.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
bro. I mean, you gotta give credit to yourself too, Ant. You know, you also were, you know, and bro, 360, brother. Yo, I'm fucking proud
because
of you.
Again,
I'm
because of
legit.
you.
I am legit, bro. I tell this all the time. I'm like, damn, bro, this is from day one to now. It's like, wow, man. I think you're doing great things.
One talk with you, man. I came in this shit, Mark, hot. I came in hot, turning, ruffling feathers, bro. I came in hot. Fuck everybody. You're lying. This one's this.
Yeah.
You're scheming. Brian was like, listen, dude. Called me up. We talked for an hour one day, and it was one of the best conversations I ever had. He's like, listen, take things for what they are. If you know what they are, it can't really bother you. And basically, just like what he said, man, you got to stay you, be you, you know, but just deal with people, work with, you know, you got to. I can't even articulate, you know, the what it did to me, that conversation, how it made me change how I viewed things. It changed my perspective on a lot of things, right? You could see what someone's doing. You could say all you want and get mad as you want. You're the one that looks like the asshole in the end. That person's going to keep doing what they're doing and being who they are, and you're over here looking like the jackass, you know? So shut up, stay in your lane, do your thing, do what makes you happy, and you know, that's it. Take shit for face value. It's
I think that's absolutely.
It's going to constantly happen throughout life. You could be 60 years old, but the whole point of it is realizing it and making the change. You know, those that don't have these experiences or that wisdom, they never realize it and they get caught in the trap. You know, coming into the hobby, like you said, you came in guns blazing.
It was a hard transition.
Brian got in with the wrong people. Fine. You know, and those people that were wrong for Brian may be right for somebody else. But at the end of the day, you get out of that circle and you're into another circle where you find yourself 10 times better than you were. Whereas certain people get locked in and they're scared, I can't leave this circle because, oh my God, if I leave this circle, I'm not going to be famous, or I'm going to have to start from, bro, I'm infamous I start from 0 and go back up to 100. I can care less. I've learned that in life. I'll cut you. I respect all of that. I respect you coming in guns blazing, realizing it, changing, holstering your guns. I respect you in your circle, realizing it, getting out of your circle, and we keep on moving on, elevating, man. That's what it's all about, elevation, finding peace.
Yo, not for nothing. Peace. When you remember, it was a few years ago, maybe like 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago now, you single-handedly changed, what's the right word? You had a huge influence in the Gecko world, bro. You had a huge positive. The Gecko world was different. Like, you see stuff now, like all types of controversial stuff and people beefing and picking sides. Brian, you had a huge presence, a huge positive presence, you know? You kind of, it's been different since you haven't been around, man. It really has, you know? It's really been different. You had a huge impact, man. A lot of new people that were coming in were looking up to you, man. It was you know, and not that they don't now. It's just when you had that presence, man, you had the power and the influence to change the tempo, man. You know, you used to put a post out or a topic or, you know, even a just a care
You
video, all
didn't
those little things
have.
you did, man.
You still have. You still have.
Of
Like
Damn,
course,
I
you
don't
of
you
even.
course,
you
I
you've
I
you've
legit am
influenced me, bro.
I'm mind
Like
blown by hearing this right now.
and I'm
you
telling
Are
you
you?
from
you
like the
Are you
from
get?
a
I feel like you guys
outside
are
world.
gassing me right now. You're just gassing
Not
me
at
right
all,
now.
bro.
brother. Not at
But
all. Not at all. Not at all.
I will tell
Not at
you
all.
straight up, you're one of the people that I modeled myself after, and I really appreciated your content. Not only that, how you carry yourself, how
Facts.
genuine you are. Like when I first met
Facts.
you, I felt like I knew you for a while. Like you didn't act
Yeah.
like I'm Brian. Who you know what I'm
Nope.
saying? You
Never. Never.
you were who I, if I was to ever be famous, I want to be like I don't want to
I'm
be
not.
that
But
that
it's so funny because
that
I'm not.
stuck
I
up.
don't even feel. I'm not famous though.
You
No,
are
no, no, you're
Gecko
not famous
famous.
at
You
all.
really
Nah, I'm just
are.
kidding.
Gecko, you are definitely Gecko famous, man. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
like
It's not even a question. I don't know
sometimes,
anybody that doesn't know who's Geckos.
yeah, everybody knows who's geckos, and everybody loves to be around who's geckos. Like, bro, you was the star of the show at Flora Fauna. You had me dying. Like, you
Bro,
center stage.
I just love people, and that's the thing. That's what I always love people, and I always hated when people had issues. I'm gonna tell you. So now that you guys brought this up, I remember one Tinley, and there was two people that had online beef, right? Legit online beef, and I went up to both of them separately first. I was like, listen, if I talk to this, and one of them is super notorious for starting shit. I went up and was like, listen, if I talk to this guy, can we meet on like a mutual grounds and whatever, and can we talk it out? Like, let's just talk it out. I said, I'll just be a mediator. I'll be there. And then, like, if it gets out of hand, we separate. No big deal. Let's just talk it out so that way we don't have animosity towards each other anymore. And I wasn't involved in anything. I was just like, whatever. So Tinley, we brought him into the lobby. We went outside. Bro, one person's face got so red, like he wanted to fight. And I was like, whoa, calm down. Let's hear each other out for a minute. And then they started talking. At the end of it, bro, they hugged. And I was like, yo, that's
See?
that's what I
That's
wanted
cool.
to be. And that's what I want. That's
Power
who I wanted to
communication.
be in this hobby was a peacemaker. I don't want I don't want everybody to be friends. As much as I do want everybody to be friends, that's not the goal. The goal is just for everybody to get along so that way
That's
we all
facts.
have a common interest,
Talk it
right?
out.
We all
Facts.
have a common interest. So our common interest is to better the hobby. Not
Yes.
not to progress for yourself. Better the hobby. Because if you better
Yes.
the hobby, you're gonna better yourself, because bettering the hobby helps your gecko business or collections grow, right?
Facts.
And that's the most important thing, is embrace each other, encourage each other, and everybody does well. Don't freaking shame other people, undercut people, and do that just for a buck. It's not. What is that really, you know? And
You're
that was
absolutely
my
right.
main focus coming into this hobby, and me putting myself out there. I was back 20-30 years ago. I was young, but I was always like the quiet guy, and I never wanted to be involved in anything. But now I was like, you know what? I put myself out there, and I started doing that, and started meeting people and doing all this stuff, and it felt great. It felt really good. And that was the problem. It felt so good that me doing that caused me to fall into a hole by meeting and falling into a group that caused me to not do that anymore. And I ended up, taking myself out. But I'm telling you, this conversation right now is really bringing me to like spark, like, hey, bro, going fucking full blown 110%.
You
Back
have
can,
to.
man. You can. Even
You
when
have
you
to.
were on the pod, the Gecko pod, and when I used to listen to, I haven't listened to it in a while, but you were hands down without a doubt probably the reason I listen to it. You were the best personality on it. You could be controversial yet still
Polite.
humbling, like you said. Like let's we don't have to agree. You know, we don't have to like each other, but let's get
Yeah.
along, right? We have a common
Yeah.
interest. It's disagreements that create discoveries and new ground, right? If everybody just agreed in this world, where would we be, right? If everybody just loved the
Exactly.
same shit, did the same shit, agreed the same, that's not realistic, you know? Things happen, change happens when you can one agree to disagree, but communicate and get along. You don't have to be best friends, but let's understand that this is what we have in common. This is let's come together for the greater cause, expand the hobby. I mean, I still believe that this gecko thing is a fraction of what it could be. You know, you look at the
Oh
cat and
yeah.
dog world, how big the cat and dog world is. I mean, with those, it's a different world, man. You know,
Yeah.
and if people weren't so gatekeepy and encouraged people and really focused on growing the hobby, like you said, it would be so much better for all of us, for
Mm-hmm.
everybody. If you didn't bash someone or shame someone and run someone out of the hobby, bring more people into the hobby. You know, be friendly. You don't got to be everyone's personal mentor, but be polite, be nice, encourage. You know,
Well,
it's
there's different camps. There's different camps, and that's what hopefully a lot of what we do here is for everybody, new, old. But
yes.
a lot of the new people can realize there are different camps, and you have those gatekeepers and the people that revolve themselves around business mentality. I learned that. I learned that because I came into this trying to be everybody's friend. And my sister, who's very savvy, is a business lawyer and stuff, I told her a couple of stories. She's like, well, the main issue you have is that you're dealing with people and you think they're your friends and you're doing everything for them. And they're dealing with you business minded. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she broke it down for me. She said, you think they're your friends, so you're acting like they're your friends because you have the same interest in the hobby. However, they're dealing with you business minded. So all they care about is the business. They're not really your friends. So stop thinking they're your friends. And I'm like, very interesting. And that's how I navigated out of those business minded people. Yeah, it's business, but I want friends in this hobby and I want to do business. I don't want to do business and make my earnings snaking people and doing people dirty, keeping people out of the hobby in order for me to be the only one with these things. No, like I want to share. I want to have fun. Like you said, I don't even know if we were recording when you said it, but if Brian has the freaking Tigers, I'm not mad I don't have the Tigers. Bro, Anthony, you want to buy a Tiger? Go see my guy Brian got the ones.
Oh yeah.
Like go see him. You know, if you have the Tigers and he has the Tigers, well, guess what? Go see Anthony or Brian. That's who I could tell you got them. I don't have them. Or I have one with one stripe. Like give me 5 years and I'll have a couple more stripes on them, but they're the ones you want to see and spread the love. You know what I'm saying?
It'd be
But
nice. It'd be
that's
nice.
what we're here trying to do. Open up people's eyes and let them see that there is different camps and you have those good people out here, man.
Brian
Yeah.
was always good at that, though, man. Always really good at that. Brian was like Gecko community, man. You again.
Yeah.
I'm not gaslighting you for nothing, bro. You had a huge influence and a huge positive influence, dude. Look at yourself. I mean, you know how many beefs you've neutralized. You know how many people you've put together. I mean, you're very good at what you do, man. You have a
Thank you.
gift. You definitely have a gift from what you turn this into. I mean, from how long you were breeding leopard geckos back in the day, weren't you? I mean, you've been doing this for a
Started
long time. You've been in this world.
Bearded Dragons. I started
That's
in
right, bearded dragons.
1995, breeding
See
95,
what I'm
and
saying?
then the following years when I got leopard geckos because I had traded baby beardies for leopard geckos and I started breeding leopard geckos in like 96, 97. Yeah, yeah,
See?
man, been doing it for a
Yeah,
while,
you got a
so it's
huge influence, man. Huge influence, huge positive influence. And a lot of people get that fame thing, and we all know the people we're talking about, and they get smug, right? They get like this elitist swag to them, if you will, and it's, new people coming in don't pick it up. They don't get it. They just think that, oh man, that's the place to go. That's the place to go. And then you get into it and you realize, like, damn, you put all this energy into following them, listening to them. These people don't even acknowledge that you're alive. Like, they don't even give a crap that they don't want to know nothing about you. If you're not buying from them, don't talk to me, and that's not you by any means, definitely not. I mean, you've been humble the whole time. I mean, it's man, it's very unique. It's a very
what
unique
I learned, and this doesn't go for
talent.
everybody. I'm gonna ruffle some feathers here, but it doesn't go for everybody. I'm not gonna target, like, say, every person that does this. So I realized, for me, as when I started meeting people, the people who do this for a living, and people who do this, who have their own regular jobs as a living for a hobby, and do this for like a little side income or little, some people actually really do this just to supplement the hobby. Like for me, I do a lot, but I really just supplement the hobby as much as I like back into the hobby, like paying for all my stuff. I mean, my damn electricity bill with solar panels is still like $900 a month. I have solar panels that I put $30,000 solar panels on my roof, and I still paid $900 a month electricity bill. So the people with that different mentality of, because you can't fault them. You can't fault them because this is their living. This is how they put food on a table. This is how they put a roof on their head. So they're more cutthroat in the hobby, in terms of business. So those, I realize, I can't mesh with them as well, but I can understand them, right? I can understand them, but I can't mesh with them in the same capacity that I'm working at versus how they are. Because it's like, in my mind, I'm like, damn, that's like kind of like grimy how you guys are doing things just so you can, because you got to make a sale. Because if you don't make that sale, you can't pay the bill. So I just realized that more so there's two types of people, ones that actually are for the hobby and ones that are for the dollar.
Correct.
And I think it's fine to be there for the dollar. I'm not saying it's wrong. I think it's just you should have both. I think you should have a little bit of both. You should be for the hobby and and a little bit of the money. Don't just be more one-sided of, hey, I'm cutting throats just so I can make as much money as possible. So, and that's what it comes down to, a lot of it.
You're right. You're right.
Do you think that's possible?
To have
Do
both?
you think to have both?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think so.
Smart businessman would. A smart businessman would want a better.
I think
hobby to build a better business. I mean, you build a hobby around you. You build a better environment. I mean, look how many businesses out there that thrive on a community. I mean, that's.
I think it's greed.
Go hand in hand.
It's greed that poisons the mind, because everybody knows, like, even the new people, like, selling reptiles, you're gonna make money. Now, how much money is where it becomes venomous to the mind, because you can tell yourself, hey, you're a businessman, fine, I'm gonna make $50,000 a year selling geckos, and I'm gonna do this, that, the other. But when you do make that 100,000, now you're like, wait a minute, and you get involved in, I want more, and then you lose track of who you were in the beginning, and you become, it's like, I don't want to say, it's like, I've said it before, it's like drugs. It's like drugs in the street. People just want to keep selling geckos and become a millionaire, and they lose focus on, they don't even love the animals.
Lose the passion. It becomes a monetary object.
Yeah, you don't even care about your setups. Or we've spoken about, like, you 15 years in the hobby and you still got the same freaking rack dusty and dirty, and you've never invested in a better something, like, geez.
You start looking at the geckos, they're dollar signs now. They look like dollar signs. They're not geckos anymore, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, you opened my mind up, because I probably wouldn't have felt the way I do right now if you didn't say it. I have to understand, not that I agree, but I have to understand that for those people that do it full time and that's a business, just because I love these animals and I don't do this for money, I don't sell them. I once in a blue moon I'll sell an animal, but I do it for my curiosity, my interest, and whatnot. But I have to understand that some people are doing this, like you said, Brian, to put food on their table. That's their choice. We may not agree with it, but that's like all the people out there that own bars, that own hotels, that own a deli. We don't have to know about what's going on in their world or care about, where they're buying their bologna from or whatever they're doing, because we're just going to get a sandwich, right? I mean, just because we're in the hobby, we're looking at it a little closer under the microscope. But again, that's a choice they made. And again, we don't have to agree with it, but we kind of need to understand that they have to do more than we do if this is their only source of income. I can never imagine this being my only source of income. I don't know that. I think it would steal the passion. I don't want, not willing to compromise that. But that doesn't change the fact, again, that there are a group of people that do not have other jobs that sell these animals for a living. So as much as it sucks to say, and I don't agree with them being cutthroat and trying to push everybody out, but it's probably a business strategy for them, right? Like, if I can, like we were saying earlier, if I can sell everything that everybody wants, then they just come to me. I build my name. I have everything everybody wants. I'm the one-stop shop. Nobody's got to look at anybody else. I got it. It's, don't agree with it, but I kind of see where they're coming from. I don't know what you say about that, really. What do you say? I kind of tongue-tied, that's their full-time job. I can't wrap my head around that. You sell geckos as a full-time thing. How many people, I mean, we know people that keep a lot of them, but there's a world out there of people that have one or two for pets. A bunch of little kids, parents buy them at Petco, and they have crested geckos. Thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people probably that have a crested gecko in their house that don't know about this whole community thing. It's
Can you
interesting
imagine,
perspective.
Like, if you talk to like an outside person in the world, and it's weird because the guys at work know what I do. They see my Instagram and shit, and they're like, "What? $1,000 for an animal? $2,000, $3,000? What? What's so special about it?" And then you have to start like trying to explain to them, like, is it like a rare gecko? I'm like, actually, you could buy the same species gecko at Petco for $50. They're like, what? Why don't you just? I said, well, this is where it comes complicated. Now it's like there's science involved, biology. You got to figure out how to breed that to this and make this super beautiful designs, and it's kind of like art. You're doing art with live animals. So and then you try to explain to them. It's like, you can go to Target and buy a handbag for $20, right? Or you go to Hermes or Birkin and get a bag for $10,000. They both do the same thing. One is high end and one is Target.
How do you like it? Do you enjoy explaining that to people? Both of you guys, do you enjoy it? I get off on it. I love it when people ask what I do. They see the stuff that I do, or they call me Lizard Boy or something. I love explaining to them the whole gimmick, the breeding, the housing, the environments, the humidity, the foods. I love, like, don't get me started. All the customers' houses I go to, sometimes I'll have to go pick a box up, but I'm working on someone's house, so I can't go home. I got to take the box and go back to the job. And, it starts these conversations, man. I love that. I love exposing people to things they have no idea about.
How do you guys feel about it? But people in my job look at me like I'm a weirdo.
Bro,
they're not into that.
They think I'm weird. But they can't front.
That makes me talk about it even more on purpose. But everybody looks at me like I'm a freaking weirdo. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I love it, so I don't care. But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Since you mentioned it right now, I got a question for both of you.
Is that a peacock in there?
A what?
Peacock? You got a peacock bass in there?
Oh, I do. I have
I see him
that.
right there. No shit.
That's a Kelberry. I got two Kelberries in here. Two peacock best Kelberries, cichlid Kelberries. Yeah.
Badass.
I got a question for you guys, right? How do you feel? Because sometimes I find I just out of my own little frustrations and listening and watching things. How do you feel about the hobby in a whole directing everybody to purchase nothing but high quality, high lineage animals, right? Yet all of these morphs and new things are coming from wholesale animals.
So
What are
for
your
me,
thoughts on that?
so I think that's a very using the word high end is very like subjective. Like what is high end, right? What do you think is high end? What does people say is high end? Oh, something with a lot of pattern. Is that considered high end? Because how is that considered high? Is so phantoms are considered low end because they have no pattern? So like so what does it mean? I'm I Everybody in the hobby always push high end, high end, high end, right? I'm doing I don't look at the doggy. Everybody's like, so what am I what's considered high end to me? Like everybody has a different definition to what is high end. So what you think is high end I may think is low end or I may think is high end. But that's my opinion in terms of that. It's like so when people come up to me and ask questions, hey, you got high end animals for sale? My first question to them is, what is high end? You know, I mean, my business card. Let me see. Hold up.
I got a high end gecko for sale, 10,000 right now.
So
Right? I mean, that's a subjective,
so
very
people
subjective.
used to put like I used to get people's gecko business cards, right? So everybody would say high end get crested geckos producing high end. So mine says super plus ultra god mode geckos. Let's see if I can get that. Super
That's
plus.
awesome.
So I'm like, all
There it
right,
goes.
so mine's better than high end. So
Oh shit. That's
so
awesome.
that's
That's a
why I was
good
like,
one.
I always go like, what is high? So what's high end to you? So this, and it's really, I don't like, and I'll listen. I can't say that I don't say it. I say it. I say it. I was like, oh, I got high end geckos, but that's to my opinion. Obviously, I'm going to say that, right? I guess it's also a marketing
You
ploy. It's a
do, I
marketing.
guess, if
In your opinion, you do think I
yeah,
do, but
yeah.
in other
You have
people's opinion, they may
refined
not.
animals. You have very, very specialty quality. I mean, the high end thing is a little, like I said, subjective. But I mean, there's got to be some term for these refined animals, right? I mean,
Hmm.
if you got an animal, like say this is where I agree with lineage, because that's another controversial thing. But you have a line of animals that you've been working on for 9 years to refine a small group of phenotypes, right? That's got to be considered something, right? Like it's a high end, or
Specialty, maybe. I would use the
there's
word
got to be some
specialty,
type of
like
word.
your
Yeah, no,
You know, if especially if you
refine
work on it yourself.
quality.
Yeah.
Is the refinement, the special, but at the end of the day, not every single one, even if you're refining them, is going to be a high end.
No,
Nobody, nobody that sells geckos only has high end animals. It just doesn't make sense because then every animal would be $4,000 and they're selling animals for 75. They're selling animals for 50, 200, 500, 1,000, 3,000, 100, 20, a dollar start. So not everything can be high end, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
I think it's just people use that. They use it. It's a marketing. It's definitely a marketing term.
Yes, that's what we were saying before you came on. I was saying to Mark, man, it's a marketing thing, and in a sense, like I was saying with the lineage thing, I agree with lineage for what I believe it's good for, but a lot of it now, the term lineage is being thrown around as some marketing crap, man. You know, lineage means something if you're trying to refine a phenotype, if you're working to get something specific. Lineage, knowing lineage will help you get there better, right? If you got an animal that looks a certain type of way, it could have 5 hidden phenotypes in it, right? It could have 5 things you know nothing about. You pair it to an animal, you're not getting what you want. If you know the lineage and where that animal came from and the likelihood of those phenotypes popping up, and you're pairing it to another animal that you know the phenotypes of, I mean, you could hone in on a look if you know those things. But just to say an animal comes from so and so, $5,000.
Yeah.
The hell,
No,
it's
I
a
hate
marketing bit. It's like,
that.
and so many people do it now that it's really taking the value away from what tracking true lineage is good for. It's not a name, right? We're tracking lineage for genes, genetics, phenotypes, structure, certain things like that. It's not. And again, that's just reducing your odds. You know, it's still not a sure shot. You know, but marketing, like you said, there's a lot of marketing gimmicks going on, and I can't say I bash them, right? I don't know, man. That's like, it's a super controversial thing, I guess. I mean, who the hell am I to say? I mean, if that, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those like things like how are you gonna talk about it when people like 90% of the hobby is like promoting it, you know, and shit like that. So it's just like kind of work with it. I'm
Last couple
also
years, it's,
yeah, that and even that whole lineage term, bro, like knowing it, like you know what I can't stand when people ask for like 4 generations of freaking lineage. I'm like, what the freak are you gonna do with it? I have people like currently ask me like, hey, you produced this animal, can you tell me who the I'm like, what? Like, how am I supposed to know this animal? I never even sold an animal to you. No, your animal produced this one. I was like, but I didn't produce this one. They're like, no, this so and so made it. I'm like, so I'm supposed to like, no, I can't remember everybody's lineage. So I was like, how far of a lineage do you want? They're like, oh, do you have like as far as you can go? I'm like, oh my god, you guys, who are you guys?
Well,
It's
well,
all the new people.
that's if we're gonna really talk, that's actual tracking lineage, though. So when people say, "Can I have the lineage?" or "I have the lineage for these animals," and they tell you, "Oh, this is Mark and this is Anthony, and that's your lineage," what does that do for me? If you're tracking lineage, you want to know the real, like, what's these this dude
dogs' pedigrees, you know, like a pedigree in a dog.
Oklana Zoological, bro, sent me lineage.
Noah, oh Noah's a
Gave
handful,
me a
boy.
fucking paragraph, and I'm like, what the hell? A paragraph, bro. I swear to God, it's like a paragraph. Whenever somebody buys an animal from me, I'm like, I got lineage for you. I got lineage for you.
I got a cramp.
Like, but it's like, that's actual lineage. Like, I know who your great grandfather is, your grandfather. Like, what are you gonna do with it? That's on you.
Yeah.
But also, a lot of top breeders don't even provide lineage or pictures of the parents or names of the parents or anything like that, which I find interesting also. I find a little pattern there.
I'll tell you, back in the day, bro, none of this was even like a thing. I didn't even, when I came back into this hobby and I was like, what? Why are you sending me the parents? I was like, I don't care about the parents. Then they're like, no, you should know the information. So like, then I was like going in these groups and everybody's like, oh, I need lineage. I'm like, holy crap, this is a thing? I was like, damn. I was just like, I know nowadays, like, I'll tell you, back in the day, you used to breed siblings and nobody cared. You could breed siblings. I mean, that was what everybody knew. You bought a pair. Can I get a pair? And you bought it from the same parents. You knew they were siblings. You breed them together. That's how it was in the like 90s and early 2000s. I come back in 2018 and I'm like, what? Lineage? Why do I need to know the parents? I was like, I don't, whatever. I didn't keep the lineage. And then further going into it, then I'm like, oh shit, now I need to keep lineage because nobody's going to buy shit from me if I don't keep lineage. So now, obviously, I have fucking all these geckos of all these lineage written. It's crazy insane. I mean, I think at most you should, like, I don't mind giving the parents, parents lineage. You want to know, because you want to know exactly, like, if you got phantoms or whatever in your genes, or any heads or recessives or incomplete dominance and stuff like that. Obviously, for that part, yes, because you don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to obviously breed a lily white to a lily white, right? Because you're gonna have like sterile animals or whatever it is. So I get that part, but like going to the far extreme is like, whew, crazy. That's just too much for me, man.
It is. It's gotten out. It's gotten a little out of hand. That's exactly the point. I mean, again, strategically, knowing certain lineage is great. You know, nobody, like you were kind of think you were saying, is you don't want to make unnecessary animals, right? You don't really want to begin. If you could reduce making unnecessary, unwanted animals, where you're bettering the hobby, because a lot of people make a lot of geckos, and I wonder all the time where they go. Like, I see all the animals I produce in a year, and I don't have a lot, less than 20 pairs, and I'm just curious, like, where do all these animals go? Like, what are people doing with them? Like, it's, so you don't want to make unnecessary, unwanted animals, I guess. And knowing lineage, certain lineage, and again, like you were saying, genes and phenotypes and, the hets and recessive, you want to know that, but as far as just like parents for selling purposes, I mean, I could go on for this for hours, and I really rather not, but
I'll say something. And this is going to be a statement that I don't care what people say. People who buy from Korea, you think they keep freaking lineage? And it's funny. You know what's the best part? The people buying from Korea, because I see them post, oh, my shipment from Korea. Those are the ones that are so concerned about lineage and blah, blah. But yet you're going to Korea to buy. Oh, no, but they provided a lineage. You think they really gave you real lineage? They gave you some dumb fuck and fucking too hung low is the parents, and here you go. You know?
And they took all of our animals, right? All the animals that we couldn't manage to figure anything out with. They took all our animals and all our blood and jumped 10 years ahead of us by doing everything that's controversial here. I mean, that's another topic, man. We could go on for hours about that.
I don't think the people know about that. Bro, I found out about all of that stuff, and it was mind-blowing. A lot of people don't even realize that
they bought every animal for sale in the U.S. for 3 years. Man. Every animal over here, 2.5, 3 years, Brian, they bought it all.
I get it, but where do you see people talk about that? The way I found out about that is talking to people behind the scenes and things. You don't know who fetal and where these people from Korea bought their geckos from, and because you're only seeing what you see and what is portrayed to you. When you start diving deep and you start talking to people that are willing to talk to you about these things, that's when you're enlightened. I found out by talking to individuals, hey, Brian, what's going on? Hey, Anthony, what's going on with this? And people telling you these things, Otherwise, you're blind, bro. You're blind. And you're just, these people are, like you said, they're buying these shipments from Korea because why? You're even blind to the price. Like, if you've seen what's going on, obviously Korea is an influx of fraps, caps, exanthics, and sables. To them, those are phantoms and pinstripes to us. So now they have an influx over there. So the way they're gonna, what do they got to do? They got to sell those to us, because the people over here are asking this price for those animals. So the people over here are like, well, fuck you, Brian. I'm gonna go buy it from Korea. You want $1,000 for it? I'm gonna go buy it from Korea. I went and bought $1,000 one from Brian. Fuck buying it. I don't have nothing wrong with Korea. I love everybody, but why would I buy it from Korea when I can put that money in one of my fellow breeders' pockets instead of importing it? It's the same.
Sure.
Those animals came from over
It's all the
here.
same blood. Exactly. It's all the same blood. They did what we should have been doing. But everybody got so caught up in these, and I'm not disagreeing with it, but these ethics and these morals in the US, we had this system over here that retained us. It kept us all doing the same thing. It's almost beautiful to see what they did. They took our blood, our animals, and they looked at it from a different angle, and they did what they did. Now imagine another continent gets them. Imagine Mexico, got a hold of all these animals and took all their bloodlines and looked at it from a different way and paired things that we thought was controversial. Look how many things they would pop up. I mean, it's kind of it's a silver lining, I guess. I mean, because they damn sure aren't doing what we're doing, and we're not doing what they're doing, and we're clearly getting different results. I mean,
that's what led to my question. Is like, I saw this. David interviewed Eureka Exotics, I believe it is.
The albino
the albinos?
The albino, right? And that's what led me to my question, because I'm analyzing the interview and I'm like, bro, is buying these high-end animals a smart thing to do for the future? Bro, she got these animals from a wholesaler and has 5 different morphs now she's working on, 10 different more. I don't know what she's working. Now
Pied,
she's the talk of the
Pinto, which I
town.
think is pied, and albinos.
So you should actually just work with what you feel you want to work with and what you love and are intrigued with. If you see a $20 animal and you think like, bro, this might have something, then if you're passionate about that, then you should go work with that $20 animal, because you never know where it can take you. Instead of saying, well, no, I got to buy a $10,000 gecko because this woman right now just made some stuff from wholesale animals and is about to sell these animals for $50,000 to the top bidder.
Bank for one of them,
man. Yo,
Boom.
if she's smart, she would hold that for a few years. Like, I'm talking like, do what Brian Butler played it smart.
Yes,
as much as, Brian Butler is Brian Butler, he did play it smart as a businessman and made so much bank on Xanthics. If she's got this albino, it's a recessive gene. We know that recessive is albino. Albino's recessive. She can retire. She plays it smart. Some people are dumb and they want to like, oh, I'm gonna go for the quick dollar. You sell for right now. I'll take a mortgage on my house. I'll give her $200,000 for those geckos right now. No questions asked. Give me 2 albinos. Give me your whole project that produced it. Give me all those babies and the eggs. I give you $250,000 right now. You give it to me. I will take that $250,000 and make that $10 million. Play it right. You can play it right.
Play it right. It is doable, man. Absolutely is.
You don't think Korea would come and start throwing you hundreds of thousands of dollars right now?
Absolutely.
For one?
They're already putting it together. They have a game plan already set. They probably already hit her up.
It's a huge thing. It really is. I'm kind of happy for her. I hope she does play it right, but that's huge for the hobby, man. It's good for all 3 of us, man. It's good for everybody, man.
Oh my God, she hit my dream, bro. Albino has always been my favorite genetic trait in anything. I'm talking about fish. I'm talking about fucking every kind of reptile in the world. Bro, I wanted everything albino. I love albino. Just everything, like my fucking albino arowana, bro. Bro, I love that gene so much. And that's what,
and they look healthy. They look super healthy. They look strong. And actually, they we'll see where it goes, man. And again, it popped up there. It's gotta pop up somewhere else, man. Wouldn't you think?
Well, she said she sold animals. She said she sold animals from the pairing, so they're out there.
Yeah,
but I wonder if it's like tokays, though. Where there's like 2 different types of albinos, and they mean nothing unless they're paired
T
with
negative and T positive.
Yeah, I wonder if it's something like that, because you could have. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't even want to begin to speculate.
I saw a post that Oklana said that they hit a T positive, but I looked at it.
I saw that.
I wasn't
but
really.
they were dying.
Oh, they were.
They
Yeah,
were
they were
dying.
having issues with it.
Huh.
Yeah, all I saw was
Interesting.
them post dead babies or something like they die in the egg.
They said they had one viable baby that still survived. I'm not sure, but I'm not too in tune with it. I just glanced at it real quick, and I was just like, okay, and I moved on.
Those two the other day are the truth, though. Those two that popped out the other day, those
Oh
are
yeah,
game
that's true,
changers,
albino.
man. Game changers. Those are the truth. Those animals are real deal albinos, man.
I'm gonna tell
Healthy,
you.
strong.
You saw the parents?
No, I didn't.
He showed a picture of the parents there on
I didn't
the
see 'em.
yeah.
I'll probably watch it tomorrow.
You'd
I'm
walk
gonna watch that
you'd
podcast
walk
tomorrow.
right past those geckos on a table. You'd walk right past. I'm good. One
So how
looked
does
like a
that work,
flame.
Brian? One of them just has to have be albino, or both of the parents? How
They
does
both.
that
They
work?
both.
Both
You have to have two alleles. So both parents
Okay.
have to have the genetic trait. So even if they're
That's
not
literally
visibly,
is hitting the
they have to
lotto,
be.
man.
Yep.
Literally hitting the fucking lotto.
Well, that's how Ron
Wow.
Tremper did it. Ron Tremper hit albino because he was just taking these wild caught, just breeding sibling to sibling, and that's how he hit albino.
Maybe that's why things aren't popping up. I hate to say it, but it's so taboo to put siblings together that we're missing out, man.
That's how Chocho was found, because they were breeding siblings in Korea.
Damn. Might have to do some
It's like the only way to figure those things out.
Now everybody who's watching this podcast is gonna start breeding their siblings together. Like, what am I gonna hit? What am I gonna hit?
It's like a scratch off. Oh shit. Yo, so you know what? I've been these tigers, man. Now I finally saw your tigers, man, and I have always. Everybody's gonna say this, but I've always loved tigers, right? They just are super cool. What are the odds? Do you think you can make a tricolor tiger, like an orange tangerine with the dark stripes and some white going around the stripes?
So classifying tiger, a lot of people get this wrong. So the traditional way of classifying tiger is phantom gene. So phantom has to be present for it to be a tiger. In terms of
Really?
the original way of how we classified
Okay.
The
So it's
tiger
eliminating tricolor then.
Yeah. So if you, let's say, had harlequin, you incorporated pattern, and you eliminate the phantom gene, and you had tiger pattern, that would be something similar to the triple X. You ever seen triple X? Which would be classified as extreme harlequin. So because now because once you put pattern into it, now it becomes a harlequin. When you put phantom into it, then it becomes a tiger. So tiger trait. So people don't get this. This is where people get confused. There's tiger trait.
It is confusing.
Tiger morph. There's tiger trait is what is the vertical banding that breaks up pattern, right? So that's tiger trait. So you see that in all harlequins. Every harlequin has tiger trait because it breaks up the pattern. So tiger morph is the phantom with the tiger that displays the dark barring. That dark barring would not be visible in a patterned animal, which would be harlequin, but it can be pattern visible because you will see brindling sometimes in harlequins and whatever. So if you see it on, let's say, a white animal, like a white, not lily white, but like a white patterned animal, a white wall, you'll start seeing you'll see orange specks in the pattern, right? And that's what tigering is doing, peeking through on white pattern. So that's what a lot of people don't understand, is the difference of tiger trait and tiger morph. So I like to work with tiger morphs.
One of the podcasts, I don't know if you were on it or not, but they had Anthony from Little Monsters on there, and they were talking about how there's two types of patterning, right? Vertical and horizontal. You got your tigering and then something else.
Pinstripe.
But he was talking about one day how the tigering or something can disrupt the tigering. There's something that influences
Pinstripe.
vertical pattern and horizontal pattern. And it was, I never really looked into it more, but it was very interesting to know. You look at an animal and see that that's something influencing it.
Yeah, it can. So you can, if you look at an animal, you can see how tiger breaks up vertical patterning. Absolutely, you could definitely see that in a lot of pinstripe animals. You know, you could see it right.
It is pinstripe, yeah. Pinstripe and tiger. Okay, that's what he was saying.
So Anthony LM, I think in their what do they call it? Foundation of genetics.
Foundation genetics.
Is that what it's?
Yeah. Foundation
genetics.
He labeled. I think he labels tiger as fixed dominant. That means fixed dominant means that every single animal
always
has
there. And I think he said that, dude. I think he did. He has said that every animal has it in a certain way.
So for me, I don't think so. I don't think that's a fixed dominant because we see animals that don't display any tiger. He will combat you and say that, oh, because the overlay of how the layers of skin and how vertical. I was like, damn, you really dissected. You would have to really dissect a crested gecko to understand how. And I mean, unless you did that, then I would believe it. But I think it's all theory. We all have our theories, and he's entitled to his theories. Yeah. So for me, my theory is I don't think it is a fixed dominant, but it is a dominant gene. Dalmatian would be considered. I don't know. Dalmatian's the fucking weird shit, man. I can't get Dalmatian no matter what I do. I don't understand the gene. But that would be like considered like a fixed a regular dominant trait, not a fixed dominant trait. But yeah, man.
I agree.
But
I think there's different types of Dalmatian. If I'm being honest, I think that we're looking at it wrong. I think there's different types of a Dalmatian gene. You know, I can't really articulate it the way I see it in my head, but it's just odd the way you have animals that have 100 spots and they'll produce a baby with nothing. And then you got a baby with nothing that'll produce animals with hundreds of spots. And it's, you know, then you have animals that produce only a certain type of spots and put that with another animal that produces whatever. It's just too much going on for it to be the same thing. There has to be different genes here.
Yeah, I agree too.
I'm not a scientist by any means.
I agree. It's too much. It's too many variables that they just pop up out of nowhere. Yeah. So I agree. Yeah.
Interesting. So what's your next? Do you have any? What's your what plans do you have coming up with these animals now that you're reinvigorated? You're back in here. What are the plans, man? What are you gonna do? I mean, what kind of bombshell are you going to drop on the hobby, bro? You still got huge influence. You still make incredible animals. You're still a great human, better than you were before. I mean, what's your next move, bro?
I like, so I really fell in love with phantoms, all types of phantoms, dark phantoms. I'm playing with different base colors now. This is something I've been trying to like work with. Like, you know how everybody's got red, yellows, blacks, browns, whatever other stuff. I want to hone in more on like a rusty color. Like I like this rust look. I don't know why. I'm colorblind, but I like this rust look. It's like a rusty orange, and that's what I'm really like playing with more. So I just want to like really hone in on this rusty orange look, and I'm working on it with Phantom, and just see how I go from there. So mostly been really this year is going to be concentrating a lot on phantoms. You know, I don't really do much of anything else now. I still do have my high patterned animals that I like because I built this high patterned animal really from almost nothing. So from a lower patterned animal, and I like to like keep on working on that. But I am not breeding as much as I used to. 2025 last year was probably my lowest amount I bred. I did only 4 or 5 pairings only, and I used to do like 80. So now this year I'm probably gonna do 40 to 50 pairs at probably that
Nice.
at most 40 to 50.
Nice.
But yeah, mostly phantom stuff, a little bit of the other stuff I've been working on. I still love fraps, man. Fraps are my thing. I love fraps. It's just I don't even care if at the point when they're like not worth anything. They're just such beautiful, beautiful animals.
Passion, right? So I feel now.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, the trends come and go. Things are popular and they're not, man. Nothing is going to change what I like, you know? And I'm going
yeah.
to continue working with I like because that's what I like. I don't care what the hobby's doing or what's trending and what's not. And certain genes do that for me. And I love them the same way with the fraps and the lily whites, man. And I just love them. I love them. I don't care what they're worth. I don't care. I love them. You know, that's what I enjoy working with, man. And as long as we stay true to that, everyone in this hobby, like you were saying earlier, we should, man, stay true to yourself and true to your passions, man. Fuck what the trends are, the hobbies are. It's an evolving, never ending circle, right? It'll come back around to you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
don't feel left out. Everything that was popular will not be popular. Everything that's not popular will be popular. I mean, we're only got the same set of genes circling around. Do your job. And I've said it a million times on this podcast. It's not necessarily the animals that sell, it's the passion. It's the breeder's passion that sells them animals, man. Your passion will show in your work. And I, it's nice to see that you're doing it. Not that you never did, because I think you always have. I think you've always been a huge advocate of that, working with what you like and, you know, refining your vision. I mean, you actually have been that the whole time I've known you. But it's good to see that and good to hear that, you know, you have a plan, an awesome plan, and you sound super passionate about that. That's freaking cool. And
It's funny because I like to use the tigers as a perfect example to that, exactly what you said. It doesn't
very true.
that the tigers was they're wholesale animals. People, you can find tigers, phantom tigers in Petco right now, right? You can find them everywhere. But breeding them and with a goal, right? To fill a vision that you had and come to that vision and create that vision come to life. That's what sets it different. Like who would have thought that I was selling that people would be spending $1,000 on a single tiger animal, paying 1,000, and it's
Thousands of
not
dollars.
a
You know?
thousand. Like it's not, bro. I at Flora Fauna, the last one, I was offered $5,000 for my tiger female that I did not give up. I said no. I
That's
was gonna
awesome.
sell it, and then I was like, damn, I can't. This is the best one I've created. So the
That's
thing
awesome.
is, people you can take anything, any gene, any type, and refine it to the way you want, as long as it's you separate yourself from everybody else. You make yourself look different. Like my tiger, like you can look at my tiger. I'm not saying I'm the best tiger because there are people who do tigers very excellent in this hobby and they do a very good job of it. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I do know that I did put a lot of work into it to make it look the way I want it to be. And I guess people do appreciate it and they're like,
Sure.
"Oh wow, this is real nice. I want it." And and it's great. And it's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling to have that. I didn't
You
intentionally want
did
to sell it
that,
for
you know?
such high dollars. It was originally first ones I was selling for like a few $100s, and then the demand just kept going and going, and I was like, damn, if this person's willing to pay this much, I might as well sell it for this much, right? So
Might as
so
well.
then
Someone
that
else is gonna, right? You know, you
yeah.
can't put a price.
So
You're you know what it is. You like nice things, bro. You know, let's keep it
yeah,
real. You like nice things, and you'll spend whatever it costs to get what you want, right? So why should
yeah,
we deny that to somebody? If I had it, I got it. You want it. I mean, as long as it's not going to interfere with what you're doing, right? I wouldn't suggest selling your next generation, you know, or something that's gonna improve your program. But if people want to pay it, why not? Someone else is going to do it. If that's part of their vision, buying one of your animals for $3,000, is a missing piece to their puzzle. God bless, man. That's that's awesome. That's awesome. That's a reward, for your hard work, for your passion, your dedication. I mean, that's awesome. You're not gypping anybody. You're not scamming anybody.
Sometimes,
You
sometimes you feel
deserve
a
that.
little guilty though.
I
Like
know.
I feel a little guilty.
I know.
It's like, damn,
I
why am
know.
I like
I know. I
selling
feel
this?
guilty every time I sell an animal, man. I'm like, damn, I really would just rather give it to them. I'd rather give it to them and them give it a good home. And, my joy has already come. I wouldn't be selling it if I didn't want it. It wouldn't be available, period. And how much money you got, it wouldn't be going anywhere. But because it is, I mean, give it a good home, take it, like it, show people, tell them where you got it from and be happy with it. But money makes it a lot nicer, I guess. But I get what you're saying. You feel kind of like, eh. But it's not our main source of income. I go to work every day. I
Yeah.
swing a hammer. I don't care. I get more pleasure seeing someone, like I said earlier, exposing someone to something. I always have this ongoing thing. If you ever have a kid, anybody's got a kid out there, and you want to give your kid their first pet, man, and it's a crest gecko, holler at me, man. I will give your child their first animal, no questions asked, from me, free of charge. I'll even send you an enclosure with them, guys. If you got a kid who wants a gecko and you're going to help them take care of him with your permission, I will send you a gecko and I will send you a cage. I am all about
When you're
exposing
gonna start
children and
vending,
people.
man?
I don't know, man. I got scared, man. I was going to do White Plains, and then I called. I don't know if it was you that gave me the number. Somebody gave me, or maybe Boris, somebody gave me the number to call the woman for White Plains. And when I talked to him, she's like, yeah, you have to have a New York
All the
vendor's
sales,
license and
tax
something.
sales.
I was like,
That's
oh,
easy to
what
get.
the
It's
fuck?
easy to get.
I panicked and was like, I'm done. I
I'll
never got started.
I'll send you the link to how to apply. It's super easy. You don't
Really?
need to be a business to get the sales tax vendor ID. You don't
So I have to have like an LLC and all that?
nope.
Really?
You can just use your
Okay.
regular social security number to do it.
Okay. Well, if that's the
Yeah.
case, shit, I would do
Yeah,
it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's easy. It's super easy. The only thing
The White
is you
Plains
just
show, man, that show is epic, bro. I don't think
Yeah.
people, I mean, but I mean, damn, how long's that show been going on? I was going there as a kid when the other room would be a gun show. They used to have the reptile show and a gun show, and I was with my father. I mean,
I think Bruce
90s?
started that in early 91 or 92. Very, very
See?
early.
Gotta be, man. Gotta be.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
It was going for
That's
5 years. My first show I vended there was like 1990, 97, 98. Was it 97 or 98? And that was the first show I vended. The first time I vended.
You're
I was
not
only
an
15,
agency or anything, right?
15 years
That's awesome.
old.
All by yourself, right? No, your parents helped you.
No,
You just said, I'm going to go do it.
I had a friend that, because I used to work at Petland Discounts, and he was a snake guy, and he's like, oh, I'll help you vend, and I was like, all right, cool. And he was
That's
much
huge,
older.
man.
Like what is he born? He's 19. He's my mother's age. My mother's born in 1956, so 70. So he's 70 years old, and he
That's
was just
huge, though.
Yeah, so he was the one who turned me on to the reptile show.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You know how good that probably makes him feel to see you today? Do you still talk to him? Is he still around?
Yeah, he's older. He's just hanging out, but he's still. I think he has a ball python still.
That's cool, man. That's huge, dude.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's how this hobby should be, right? Don't you think, man? Like, we should be putting everybody on, encouraging them to do more. Like, you have the potential to do this, do that, man. Like, do it, Contribute to this hobby, man.
Yep.
Let's make it bigger, better.
Not to
sound like a broken record, but we don't got to agree on everything, but let's get along, man. Let's talk it out. Talk, discuss. Share what you found. If you disagree, let me know why. Maybe we'll come to some type of common ground and we both agree on, Talking about that, what do you think about this? Speaking of phantoms and this topic we're on right now, I keep monotone keeps popping up in my head. What is monotone and what do you think about monotone? Monochrome.
Oh, I was like, wait, what's monotone? Bro, don't even get me started on that topic.
Isn't I gotta know, dude, because I think it's a phantom.
Isn't that the guy, something genetics? Edgar. What's his name? Edgar from what's his name? Something genetics. Is this Gecko genetics or Gecko gen?
Gecko gen.
Gecko gen.
that to me is phantom too. And
That's what I say, phantom, right? Everybody that breeds phantoms, I ask them, I'm like, that is not like a maybe it's a high end or quality
no, I
phantom
don't.
or something. It's a freaking phantom.
So this is where people need to do their educate themselves and learn things, because a lot of these people, and I'm not saying, maybe he genuinely thinks he has something different for some reason, but the buyer should educate themselves and know if that is something that you see different. Don't let the person selling you sell the animal, right? Only buy an animal because you want it. Don't let the person who's selling the animal sell you the animal. Don't be like, oh, but Edgar says this is the different genetic and it's not phantom, blah blah blah. Don't let that be the dictate why you're buying this animal, because a lot of people are going to, in this hobby, are going to market themselves in a way that makes them sound like they got something new, better, different, whatever it is, to make that sale, to make the extra couple dollars, whatever it is. You as the buyer should educate yourself and know, hey, listen, maybe I shouldn't. And that's what the problem with a lot of new people. They just see something and they're like, oh, this is monochrome. Nobody has it. I need to get it, right? So then they jump into it, and I'm sure. So as much as you, 1,000 people will laugh at you, but 2 people would agree with you and fall into the trap, and you sold it for a couple $1,000s.
Sure,
You took an animal that's probably worth a few $100s at most, and you made a couple $1,000s off.
Sure. It's a marketing ploy. And again, I'm not trying to bash the man, but
No,
when people talk about it and it's come up a few times, I don't see how it's not a freaking phantom. I don't understand. Again, I always ask everyone that breeds phantoms because I'm still on this mission to find out what the hell a monochrome actually is.
Is he
and
still?
I can't even get an answer out of him. I've asked him. I can't get a straight answer out of him.
Is he still pushing that? Because I remember 2 years ago this. Yeah, I didn't even know.
Yeah, no. He does some gargs. I mean, I know personally, I'm not going to put him out there because I love the kid who bought it, but he sold a gargoyle for 18 grand to a kid I'm good friends with. 18 grand as something special. I see the same looking gargoyles all the time, man. Just these pastels.
$18,000.
$18,000.
That's
$18,000.
But that's
the
probably
kid loves
already.
It. The kid loves it, and the kid's happy as hell. Like he's branded his whole business off of this gargoyle. But I look at it, I'm like, dude, you got like a hypo pastel, bro. It's not.
Yeah, but he probably looks at it different, bro. You know.
Yes.
Same with monochrome. I agree with what both of you are saying. However, I also want to look at it from a different angle, right? Because I have spoken to Edgar about it, and maybe he's of the camp where it's like, bro, I don't have to tell you what it is. If you want to invest your money into it, invest your money, and if you don't believe me, then you don't. But I've sat here and spent years figuring this out, and this is what I figured out, and this is what I'm calling it, and it is what it is. Now go do your homework, because what happens is people want to, I'll buy this for 10,000 and I'll buy this for 10,000, and now it's I own monochrome, but you didn't do no homework to get there.
Well, you got to know what it is. You're selling it. You got to have an explanation, don't you think? Like,
no,
what is it? Monochrome in definition is one color. All those red things I make are all red. Belly scales, eyes, everything on these red things I make is the same color.
But that's monochrome would be red. Monochrome
just means same tone,
single color, same color. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's one thing that I can't pass by. He does have one gecko that has black eyes and is like a silver color or something like that.
Well, that would
Have
be
you seen
different.
that?
That's I
Have you
haven't,
seen
but
that?
that'd be
No.
different. That's cool.
So I
Like a
don't know
phantom
what
eye.
monochrome is. I don't know the definition of monochrome, but
Nobody
I
does.
know that
Because
I
he
see. Yeah,
he never told anybody what the definition is.
and maybe he don't have it. Maybe he don't have it. But there is something weird about that one gecko. If you look at it, there is
If it's
something
the
weird.
one, yeah, I haven't seen it, but I was under the impression he was selling them as a line. Like these are monochrome. This one, this one, this one, and I see a lot in those Facebook groups, which I've taken myself out of, and I don't want to get into that whole thing, but I think they're just not the place to be to learn anything.
I just got rid of my Gecko Facebook. I just don't even go on it.
Yeah,
Same
it's a
Same thing with
very,
the
very brutal
pastel, gargoyle, bro. Everybody and anybody who's been working with gargoyles works with nothing but reds.
Red, yeah.
Like one or two people could probably say they've been working on other colors and other things for 15, 20 years. Otherwise,
there's a handful.
everybody works with reds. So the same way crested geckos got bought by Korea and they did all of this stuff and got 20 different morphs, and this woman popped up with 20 different morphs, and bro, you don't know what could happen in 10 years of my guy working with the pastel all of a sudden
For
has
sure.
information on it, you know?
For sure. There's a lot that hasn't been discovered with them gargoyles, because the same thing with the crested geckos. We get hyper focused on a group of things and we forget about everything outside of our lane, and we're focused here. We're not exploring what's out here. I think that is with the gargs, and everybody's so hyper focused on the red stuff that they're not exploring those uncharted waters, and they're missing out. I think there's a lot to be discovered with gargoyles. Are you working with any gargs, Brian? Do you have any pairs of gargs or anything? No.
I think 2 years ago I finally got rid of my last sets of guards.
Oh, yeah. You still have those chihuahuas?
I have a lot of. So I have 4 pairs of chihuahuas.
No shit.
3 pairs of lychees. I still have a lot of species.
There you go.
I have
day geckos.
I have 5 different species of Phelsuma.
No shit.
What else do I keep?
You got the monitors, right? You got those
scorpion
Kimberleys.
tails.
No more. I don't got Prosteris carteri. I got rid of the Prosteris carteri. Yeah, those. Bro, I got so frustrated with them because the babies just kept dropping tails. I'm like, this is their selling point, is the damn tails, and they just keep dropping them. So I just got rid of the group. What else do I keep? I do my Uris. I got Viardes, Agricoli. I got I also got Bavia, Cursivas, and Robustas.
Damn.
I got a pair of Tokays, even a pair of Tokays. Bro, I have a lot of animals. What I forgot what I got awesome. two Calotes species. I got Calotes Calotes and Calotes Pethiogodi. I gotta tell you, I got
those give live birth.
No,
do those give live
eggs?
The Dumbara gives live birth, right?
The Sephora Dumbara, maybe. Not the Calotes. Calotes gives eggs, and so does Pethiogodi. You know what I just got, which is I'm freaking in love with, Stenosora pectinatas, the iguanas, spiny tail iguanas.
Oh yeah, who'd you get them from?
So I got a pied one from this guy on Morph Market, and then I just got a banana from Tiki's.
Really?
Sure.
Yeah.
Carlos from, what the hell is the name of?
Oh yeah,
the guy
Carlos
that invented
in Texas.
Oh yeah, man.
He has the best ones, but he had nothing available for me.
No shit. Everybody that has them, bro, loves them. They say everybody that has them I've never heard a bad thing about them, honestly.
My favorite species
everybody
that
has them loves them. No shit.
They're so cool, man. I could hand feed them. They're like puppies.
That's awesome.
They're like puppies. Come out, hang out. Awesome. They're the best. I'm gonna tell you, hands down, best reptile pet I've ever had.
Really? I heard like a super manageable like rhino iguana. You know, like they're super manageable, like very cool, timid. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah,
And
I
they don't
just got
require
them.
a big cage. What type of enclosure are you keeping them in?
So mine are babies. They're small. So mine is 36 by 24 by 18 deep. And then
Nice size
and then the
cage.
one I got from Tiki's is like a sub-adult, and he's in a 4 foot by 4 foot by 2 foot.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think eventually
will
I'll
that
get like a
last?
6 adult, probably a 6 by 4 by 2 or 3. Yeah.
That's cool, man. Very cool.
I love those. Mark
What
should
put
get
you
them.
on to
You
them?
got. You
Just
can
out
put
of
them outside,
curiosity.
bro. I just saw some video.
What
Of
brought them on your radar?
some video popped up on my reels, and this guy was feeding a giant pied pectinata with a full size strawberry and just eating out of it. I was like, yo, that thing is cool. Thing looks like Godzilla, and that's what got me. I was like, yo, this thing looks like Godzilla, and I wanted it, so
That's
I got it.
awesome.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's such a cool
Very
species
cool.
to keep.
Very cool. You right, Mark?
Yeah, I'm
Thinking.
good. I'm good. I'm thinking.
Mark should get. You should get pectinatas for. You live in Florida. You keep them outside.
Badass outside, right?
I'm done. I lost a couple of thousand keeping some chameleon. I have these wild
what?
cats, man.
Keeping
I was
outdoors?
keeping panther. Yeah, I was keeping panther chameleons. I was starting a whole program with them, and I got wild cats just took me out.
Like
so
wild
ripped through the
stray
cages.
cats?
I've seen the pictures. Ripped through the cages,
Yeah.
bro.
Like
Yeah,
stray
Ripped
cats?
through wire
the
cages.
Yeah,
Feral
ripped through the
cats,
tops. Yeah.
They're a big
Damn.
problem in
It's
parts
like-
of Florida.
bro,
I was
it's
reading
like
about
a
it. They're
freaking-
huge problem.
It's like a freaking movie. Just the other day, I'm like this close to going to war with these cats, but just the other day I pulled up and it's like a movie. It's like 8 of them, and they all huddle across the street, and one is laying down like this, the other one is like this, the other one is like this. Like, bro, I swear it's like a movie, and it's like they all looking at me like, yeah, we got you. Put some more animals out there.
Oh,
But
shit. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, I lost. So I have like 10 screen cages. They're still outside. I was so pissed off, but I'm working something now. I'm gonna bring them all inside. I'm redoing my screen patio, and I'm gonna do some Anolis species and more day gecko species out
Were
in
your
my.
day geckos outside?
No, and I was close to doing it, but no. I'm gonna expand the day geckos now, but in my indoor patio.
Okay.
I'm
awesome.
fixing the screen to make it like a greenhouse,
Nice.
so everything is trapped. And then I'm gonna expand. I should be doing that within the next 2 weeks, actually.
Awesome.
That's such a cool way to keep animals outside, man. Like honestly, especially up the weather. Do you put anything outside in the summer, Brian?
So I had a panther chameleon, but it died. I mean, that thing lived for like 4 years. So
Isn't that about all they live though? Aren't they like a super short-lived species?
They do have they do have a short span, and I bought it as an adult, so I don't even know how old it was when it was an adult. So, I used to put him out in a screen cage, but I'm gonna put the pectinatas outside in the summertime. Yeah,
that'd be cool. I take my bearded dragons and put them out in the summertime. One of those big exo breezes, those 4 foot
That's
cage
what I got.
things. And I just put it like when I go out to work, I put them out there in the morning and I'll take them in at nighttime. They're totally different animals outside. They're freaking. They're just so different. I almost feel bad when I take them and put them back inside. You know,
they love it out there.
Definitely do. They both, even the girls, they like bob their heads, see birds fly by. It's like they stimulate so many different things for them, man. It's freaking cool. Very cool to see an animal outside. And, you know, we can only replicate so much with artificial lighting and stuff. You know, you can't create that, you know, real outdoor environment, but I think it's super cool, man. A couple people do. Who does, like Frank Payne? Doesn't Frank Payne have a huge outdoor? He keeps Lacerdas outside,
and he does the carpet chameleons too. The furcifers, I think they call them. He does those outside.
The little ones, right? The little things, yeah.
Those are cool.
Yeah,
they are.
I like
cool.
those.
I never had a chameleon.
They're hard to keep,
Never had a
man.
chameleon, period. That's why I always hear. That's why I never get them. Every time I go to Petco, I see one in a cage. I'm like, I should just buy that thing for $50 and give it a badass life. And then I'm like, I'll want to kill it. Leave it the hell where it is.
Well, the
Shit.
panther was good. I mean, it was. The only thing is, you just got. It's kind of like a crested gecko. You got to keep it humid at night and dry out in the day. You know, that's all I did. Ate well, lived a pretty good life.
Yeah, mine were living outside with no problem until
Yeah.
the cats got them. They were
Fucking
doing perfectly
cats.
fine outside with no problem.
Damn
Fucking
cats.
Hey, what's up with So you haven't been on the and I don't want to. I'm not trying to start drama, but you haven't been on the Gecko pod anymore. Are you planning on doing anything social media wise? Are you gonna start doing your care tip videos again? Are you gonna start? What's
I
your
think I
game
want
plan
to.
for
I do
social
want to
media?
resume. I want to do some more positive, like speaking on the hobby and stuff like that. And I do want to do some more tips. I probably can I found like I was like running out of content to make, and like what other tips can I do? So I just got to start thinking and like brainstorming more things. But that's what I'm gonna be doing. Obviously GeckoPod. I haven't been on there or in the last 2 years. So I'm
Made the
not gonna
show
be on there.
too. Made the show.
Man,
Best
appreciate it.
personality and host on the show, hands down, without a doubt. Made the show. Brought humor to it. Brought reason, logic. I mean, that's a dry ass. You brought a lot of you made the show, dude. You made it. Watch, I'm dead serious, man. And I don't hold my tongue for anybody. I'm not trying to start no beef, but you're the reason I watched the show, man. When Brian was on,
Appreciate it.
I'm watching, man. It would be a good show. It wasn't going to be like you know
Was it monotone?
whatever. Yeah,
Monochrome.
monotone, fucking brown nosing, regular bullshit, regular typical shit. But again, it was, you made it. You have a gift. You have a gift. Like, you're very outgoing, man. You could talk to anybody, right? You always got a smile on your face. You could talk to anybody. You could turn any negative into a positive. You could see the positive in just about anything. It's again, it may just not seem like anything to you because it's who you are, but it's a gift, bro. Like, when you were on, and I said this earlier, when you were more active on social media, the whole fucking Gecko community was different. The whole you could come in here and change the whole vibe of the whole social media Gecko community.
Damn, man. That's
That's
big words.
power,
And
bro. That's
thank you,
power.
man.
That's power. It's
I
power. And you
appreciate that.
deserve it again. You deserve it, dude. Why the hell not? You're fun to watch. You're like David. David doesn't always have the best animals, or he's not always politically correct, but David is great to watch, right? Like, he's
Yeah,
fucking
I
humorous.
enjoy watching him. Yeah,
You have the same gift, man. You have
thank
the
you.
same
Wow.
thing as David, bro. And he's
Yeah,
humble too, as big as he is. David has been on the podcast. He's come and talked to me. He's never denied a message I've sent him. I mean, I talk to him all the time, man. He don't got to talk to me for shit. I'm a nobody. He doesn't have to give me the time of
You're
day.
somebody. You're somebody. You're not a nobody.
Listen, you know what I'm saying, dude. Like, you guys are the hobby. It's again, but that being humble like that means a lot. It means a lot to be approachable. There's some guys in this hobby that have been here for 20 years that I've sent messages to and asked questions to, dude. I can't get a response. I'm just another message in their inbox, dude, like, that they don't respond to. And again, not that I deserve it, but at a certain point it gets insulting when you put on this persona of being someone, of being a resource, if you will, and then you don't respond to people. You're not really a resource, man. Like, if people have no access to you and you're not putting out other content, you're just saying stuff, you're just a personality. You're not, you're two-dimensional. You're not three-dimensional when you're communicating with your audience and engaging your community and contributing to your community, encouraging your community to contribute to the community. You do all that.
Thank you.
Do you find it difficult bringing positivity to the community without talking about the negativity?
Um, no, not at all. You could definitely just talk positive without any negativity. There's, I think there's, I think some negativity has to be talked on to being brought to light because we live in a real world, right? This is real world. So if it's always positive, it's you're not living in a real world. Sometimes you gotta like bring up a little of the negative to supplement the positive, right? So yeah, this you gotta give and take a little bit. So some you gotta sometimes it's okay to bring up some negative uh points or negative facts so people can see that they are negative, or what you don't have, what not to do, to so you can be more positive. Some people, like, listen, when I was being negative, I didn't realize I was being negative. you know it took me when I was like watching myself from outside, and I was like, damn. And then I started looking like, damn, why am I so negative? So it took me a while to realize it. Like, as I was doing it, I didn't realize I was being negative until I saw it, until later on, and I realized it. So some people don't know they're being negative, you know, and if sometimes people need to call out that negativity so people can realize it. And I'm gonna tell you, my you were involved in my reasoning to when I found out I was being negative. You know that, right? You remember.
Yeah.
Enlighten me. I have no idea what
Yeah,
happened.
enlighten me. I remember, but I don't.
It was on my palm street. I was
Oh
talking
yes,
about something, and no, it wasn't me. It was somebody else's palm street, which we won't name. And
yes.
we won't name anybody else, but I had made some comments about something, and it was a negative way. I was being 100% negative. I didn't realize I was being negative because then I was invited onto the live of Palm Street and got on and started talking negative. I got called out on it the next day, and on a Instagram story, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was heated, bro. My face was red. I wanted to fight. Then I started thinking, I was like, fuck, I was a dick. I was negative. Why? What was the purpose of what I just did? I honestly, I don't even know what I was talking right now. I can't tell you what I was talking about, what I remember saying. I just knew I was negative, and then it sparked the whole thing. And then I had to call up, and I was like, listen, yo, I am 100% owning up to it. I am sorry. I should have never said anything like that. What can I do to make it right? I'm going to make a public announcement. What do you need? And they were like, nah, it's cool. I appreciate you apologizing and all that. And that's when it started. And that's when I realized I was starting to become negative. And then there was a snowball effect after that.
Yeah, yeah. I recall. I recall. There was a few, and um, it's very interesting though. It's being led and misguided without knowing the full. That's one of the reasons why I always try to stay unbiased. Like even with the Gecko Gen thing, like I always want to just benefit of the doubt. Let me hear it out. I cannot. I cannot be the person that says, bro, what the hell is monochrome? It's nothing. If what's his name? Eddie Edgar
Edgar.
Edgar is not right here for me to be like, oh bro, monochrome is nothing. Speak to me. You know what I'm saying? Because the what if he does have something to say? What if he's waiting for this moment? I don't know. But I know in the past I've done things like to my cars or to whatever it may be, and I may not say shit, and you may be thinking, "Oh, he's got a piece of shit," and there's not nothing. And then all of a sudden, one day I pull up to the car show, hood off.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? So I just like to give the benefit of the doubt, and when stuff like that happens,
Of course.
you're guided, and you're rolling with the crowd, you're rolling with the crowd, but it's crazy how these things occur and these things happen. At
So
the end of the
Brian's
day,
good at
you're
that too, though. You know, you guys are very similar. You know, Brian's good at always. You know, Brian's never. He never. You know, the other cool thing with you too. When there was a point when I first came into this where people were literally trying to like blacklist me type shit. Brian had never blacklisted anybody, right? He's always like, "Yo, hear him out, right? Give them a chance, hear him out, understand that people make mistakes and listen to people, right? Like there's that whole cancel culture thing in this hobby too and community, which I think is terrible, right? Like
that's with
it's
life.
terrible to just cancel people for, I mean, making a mistake. People make mistakes, but and I'm not saying that everything's acceptable and everybody should just be excused, but people deserve to be heard out, right? You should hear them out. You know, I mean, to just cancel someone or blacklist someone is kind of just like shows nasty character in people, right? Like it's, again, you don't got to get along with them, but I mean, you got to go to blacklist someone. You're going out of your way to maliciously delete someone, right? Like you can't just end it as like we don't agree, like let's agree to disagree. Like, and again, both of you have that talent to understand that there's probably two sides to the story, right? Like, you know, and that's huge. That's huge in the hobby. That's a characteristic that I think a lot more people need to adopt instead of the ever so common cancel culture that's plaguing the community, right? Like, let's cancel this person. This person should never breed animals again. This person should never do this, or you know, look what this person's doing. I mean, talk
Not
to
only
them.
that,
Why?
what you
Why? You know, I
what
mean,
what
why?
you did, right? Being the big person that you are, what you did change people. I guarantee, and I know because I watch, but from you seeing yourself in a more positive light, being the bigger person and standing your ground for what you believe in, people have changed the way they walk. They're not walking the same as before because it took them to have that lesson taught to them for them to realize, and not everything has
It's
changed,
humility. Humility.
but
You got
you
Brian got
you you
humility.
humbled you humbled quite a few. You humbled quite a few. So, you know, head up high, the years ahead of you, you humbled quite a few. You know, the light is on you, bro. So you stood your ground and you did your thing, and those that know. What is it?
Yeah.
If you know, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
If you
That's
You
know, you
right.
came out
know.
better, bro. You came out better, man. Like I said, you got a aura about you, man. You look healthy and happy, and you know, 2020, 2019 all over, brother. You know, you got what you're working
Hey,
on. You're producing some heat. I'm excited to see what you're doing, man. I used to love your reels. I used to beg you to keep making more. Like, do more, do more, do more. I love those things, man. You know, and then you got the room. The space is there. There's not many people going the extra mile. Everybody's showing their animals, right? And thinks that just breeding nice animals is contributing to the hobby, which is part of it. But there's a lot more shit to do, right? There's a lot of other things to do to better this hobby. You know, education, products, you know, care tips. I mean, there's communication skills, you know, teaching people how to communicate, which is so much other things you could do to better
Or
the
just even
hobby.
encouraging everybody, you know? Just
Absolutely.
encouragement is freaking
Absolutely.
huge.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, absolutely. And I can remember a time even when I was talking to you, and I was even talking to a couple people, and a few people would say, don't breed this and don't breed. If you just want to make animals, we don't need any more breeders. I never got that from you. A few people were like, listen, if you're excited about it and you want to make animals, man, have a blast. This is what you do. This is how you do it. You know, look out for this. Keep your eyes on that. These are your temperatures. You know, you have two different types of people for the new person. I'll never forget being the new guy in the crested gecko world, you know, and I got treated two different ways by two different groups of people. And I think that still exists today. Like that's
Oh yeah,
still a thing
absolutely.
today.
It's
And
gonna happen no matter what.
uh, It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because
the only thing
those
is,
opportunities are opportunities we have to grow the hobby. And I think a lot of those times where people are giving that first advice to those new people, you scare off a lot of people. Let them make some mistakes, right? It's like being a
yes,
parent. You gotta kind of let your kids make some mistakes, man. They'll learn. Keep them in the
can't
wheelhouse, but
can't hold their
let them
hands
fuck
all
up
the
a little.
way,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
can
but
guide
don't
them.
discourage them.
Yes,
Yes,
you can guide them. Don't hold their hand, but you can guide, and that's what I do when people ask me questions. Like, listen, I'm not gonna do your homework for you, but I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you understand like what you need to know. You know, this it's just we all started somewhere where we didn't know anything, so we have to remember that. You have to
absolutely,
remember there's that we all started somewhere, right? And just because you did your homework and your knowledge doesn't mean you can't pass it on. There's no, like you guys say, gatekeeping. There's no need to gatekeep anything. There's nothing. Just spread the love, you know. And I always, and this is one thing I always live by. And I said, if this new breeder that comes to me doesn't succeed, if they don't succeed, I don't succeed, because they have to the hobby has to continue to grow for me to succeed in this hobby, because if there's nobody left in this hobby, then there's no hobby for me to stay in, right? You're just having animals,
absolutely,
and you're just gonna have you. If you can't sell your animals, then you can't breed the animals, because what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with millions of animals? Just hold them and feed them every day? That becomes too much work. So,
absolutely,
so yeah, that's everybody has to
absolutely,
succeed in this hobby.
absolutely. Well, we're at 2 hours, man, and I know you got work and we're kind
Yes,
of on a time limit. You have an important job, and again, I mean, for people
It's
that
not my
don't know,
fault. It's not my fault.
huge respect to you for what you do, brother. I've
thank you,
always
bro.
respected what you
I
do.
appreciate
I
that.
think that more people need to show appreciation to our law enforcement and all of our service members out there and everything that's going on in this country. There's a lot of people that are doing things they don't have to do, man. And Brian wakes up every day and helps keep New York safe, man. And shit's getting out of control out there right now, man. So stay safe. I know
Thank
you're
you. Appreciate that.
inside now, but you got a family to worry about, man. And just stay safe out there,
And to
brother.
my
And I appreciate what you do.
end of my career,
Hey,
20,
or the
21
beginning of a
years
new
in,
one. Beginning of a
21
new
years
one.
in.
God bless,
Yeah.
man. That's beautiful.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. I hope they take care of you after that, man. You got pretty good. New York gives a pretty good pension, right?
Yeah, you get a good, you got to work on your own pension. So the overtime counts towards it and stuff like that. The best part is, I retire with health benefits for the rest of my life, you know?
Beautiful. I don't think people know how priceless that is. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
people
huge.
don't
That's huge.
understand. Yeah, health benefits is very, very like the best.
Absolutely. So, what you have any announcements? You have, I know you got a Palm Street coming up. The stage is yours. Tell us, promote anything you got to promote, anything you want the people to know.
Yeah. So, well, this is probably not going to air by time. This week, on Friday, I actually doing my first Morph Market live auction.
Okay.
I'm giving that a try.
Okay.
You
Good
gotta.
for you.
I feel like you should don't keep your eggs all in one basket. So like do a little bit here and there. So Palm Street, I have a Palm Street scheduled sometime mid-March. I don't know if it's next week or whatever, but I keep pushing it back. But I'm gonna do one soon. I like the Palm Streets. The Palm Streets are good because it gives me a chance to like talk to people, like this. It's just like this is this is different. This is like great because like I got you guys to talk to. Me, I'm talking to myself as like Mark does. You do the Palm Streets like you're reading the text and like
Yeah.
and it's like I'm not saying it's hard, but it's exhausting trying to keep up the conversation because you got to keep them
Well,
engaged.
yeah.
You got to keep everybody engaged and keep them going and like wanting to watch because when you don't want to lose them as like you don't want them to like because you're giving a show. That's what it is. You're giving a show. And you want to perform for your audience. And if you're not performing well for your audience, you start to feel away like, oh man, do I suck or whatever it is. So it's just so exhausting. Like I got to keep going, keeping them engaged. So, but I enjoy it. I do enjoy it because people show appreciation towards it, and I love the appreciation part, and that makes me feel good to that I'm happy to do what I keep doing because people enjoy it. So
They
that's
do.
about
They
it.
do.
And then I got April 12th is White Plains. White Plains Reptile the
Awesome.
New York Reptile Expo is I'll be vending.
Awesome. So where do you have animals available if people wanted to buy your animals? You have on Morph Market? Would they just reach out to you? I mean, I know you get probably swamped right now of requests for these tigers, but how would someone go
Normally
about
normally
purchasing
I
an animal?
I would post online, but right now I'm just coming out of like this whole thing, so I
Hmm.
really have no way of like
Okay.
I haven't really thought of sales so much. It's just me re-getting my feet wet again is what I want to do, and then I'm gonna slowly. I do have a lot of animals available, but I just care for them now. Like, bro, like I'm telling you, I had to buy. I don't need how many more adult cages to put these in because all the babies grew up, and now I have a whole bunch of adults. But but yeah, so I'll be selling a lot off eventually because there's just so much. But I just want to be more involved and back into the community before I start like just firing off sales, you know?
Sure. Sure. Awesome. And you are gonna you did mention you are gonna start doing some more care videos or tutorial videos and stuff like that. Guys, if you haven't seen them, are they still up on YouTube? Do you have them on YouTube?
Yeah, no, I have them on. So I think I have it on. I don't really post on YouTube, but you can go on my Instagram, and there's a tab, you know, like the circles of stories on the
Yeah,
profile.
yeah, yeah.
There's a part that says tips and tricks. If you click there, there's like 50 something
That's what
videos
I
there.
was watching. Yo, guys, those videos are awesome, man. Like he crushes it, guys. If you haven't seen them, go find them. I thought they were on YouTube, but go to the Instagram page and click the little story box thing there and watch those videos, man. They're some of the best. They really are. They really are. I mean, I could
Thank you.
watch them on a loop over and over and over, man. They're awesome videos. I mean, even if you know some of the information, I mean, they're just great to watch, man. You know, check them out, guys. If there's not much I can say that's gonna do anything for you, bro. I mean, you're way bigger than I could ever be, man. And
Nah, I
you
appreciate
know,
that, man.
it's a privilege and honor just to consider you a buddy of mine, man. You know, I mean, we you know, it's great to
Yeah,
finally
man.
have you here, and I've always
But
been
it's
a
great,
fan and a
bro.
friend, dude. You know,
I had a
it's
great time, man. This was great.
well, I
I really did.
appreciate it, man. And again, I'm glad, so glad, from the talks we had, and obviously what you say to me never goes nowhere and never will. But it's good to see you back to you, brother. Great
Thanks,
to see
brother.
you happy and healthy again, man. And hey, whether you believe it or not, man, I prayed for you all the time, brother.
Oh
And,
man,
and I
thank you,
mean
man.
that. I mean
I
that.
really
I
appreciate it. You
mean
know
that.
what? You're one of the very few people that continue to reach out to me, so I really appreciate that.
You deserve it. You matter, man. You matter. You're
Thanks,
more than
man.
just a social media figure. All right, guys. Man's got to go to work. Mark's mad as hell because Mark's all wired up and got 2 more hours of talking in him. But I appreciate all of you guys, man. Honestly, whether you have one Gecko or you have 100, man, every one of you guys has a voice and every one of you guys matters, man. We all make up the community. So if I could offer you guys one piece of advice, man, stay true to you. Stay weird, man. Peace.
Later.